The Microsoft Store was introduced in the terribly interfaced Windows 8 as a way to safely download apps from one trusted source. One company who does something like this correctly is Apple. Apple has their App Store, which has carefully monitored apps, and, well, there's a reason there isn't much malware on Apple compared to Windows, even when you take the less market share into consideration. Windows is by far the most prone to malware, and Microsoft knows that. So one hope with the Microsoft Store was to increase security by allowing users to download trusted apps from both the Microsoft and other vendors. However, on February 24th, 2022, articles started coming up about a malware infecting Microsoft Store apps. And although it had been around for quite a while, it started getting bigger and bigger. Before I continue, I would just like to say, as much as I like to talk about cybercrime, I also find it important to talk about cybersecurity news. So I've decided to dedicate some episodes to cyber news I find interesting or relevant to you to help you stay protected and updated on the latest cybersecurity-related issues. I do hope you enjoy these segments as much as I enjoy making them. Alright, back to the episode. Electron bot is a type of Trojan horse malware. Malware that a user installs willingly, believing it to be a benign application that disguises itself as a legitimate one. The creators behind Electron bot are able to spoof or disguise it as legitimate verified publishers like Google, so the Microsoft Store believes it's actually Google. This was quickly figured out by the Microsoft Store, and they managed to spot exact spoofs like this and stop them from entering the store. But ElectronBot fixed itself and figured out a new home: the game section of the Microsoft Store. I myself was curious, so I opened my Windows 10 PC and took a look around the game section of the Microsoft Store. I'd never actually used the Microsoft Store, I just prefer to download my things directly from the vendors' websites, but whatever, I see why people would do it. And it seems very unregulated at best. A lot of the games are clones of very well-known games, and some even use the exact app logos as the originals, with weird different titles. There's a lot of games with only 10 reviews as well, or around that number. And sure, new and obscure games exist, but this would be a perfect place to upload malware, because it's so easy to find new games for users and for the malware to get those installs from people who just want to play some free games. And there's nothing wrong with the games infected with malware themselves. Although many of them seem to run like absolute shit, but that's just standard for Microsoft Store ripoff games. So users don't even suspect there's malware on their machine. ElectronBot appears to perform a few different functions, such as search engine poisoning, which allows sites infected with malware to rank higher on your Google search results, and also likely allows more malware-infected games to reach higher on your Microsoft Store search results. But it also clicks on invisible ads and directs traffic to different social media content. By doing this, it seems like the creators are trying to gain profit through ad revenue, and is also likely tied to one of those "wanna get famous? Visit this sketchy site to buy subscriber" bots that you see on Twitch. Or at least that infect my Twitch quite often. At the moment, it doesn't seem like any harm is being done to systems, but that can change quickly. See, ElectronBot has a backdoor, a piece of code that allows the person or group controlling it to access your system. That's how it's able to alter your search results and click on some invisible ads or promote social media pages in the background. These processes aren't shown to you, but they appear to have been performed on your behalf because it's being run in the background on your system by the hackers. A lot of things can go on your PC without you noticing, and this is just one of them. With a backdoor access to your system, code can easily be modified from the existing code in the game to steal user data and even infect your system with ransomware, which is malware that encrypts all your files until you send a payment, most likely in Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency. This is all just my speculation and some things that could theoretically happen, but for now it just seems to be some weird social media promotion and ad revenue generating bot thing, which is a very strange approach to malware, but okay. To avoid this, you should avoid installing apps in the Microsoft Store with weird publisher names, especially if it's an official well-known game like Temple Run and the publisher name is like Gleep Goop Games or some shit like that. Anything different to what the actual publisher is if it appears to be a clone. And if it appears to be a differently made clone with different art, I still would avoid installing it because it's probably really shitty, but maybe not malware and just someone trying to cash in on shitty games, but whatever, that's beyond the point. I mean, if it doesn't have malware in it, it's just still a shitty game either, so you shouldn't install it, but that's just my opinion. Even if it's not a clone, you should avoid downloading games with a low review count grammatically weird titles or just straight up typos in the titles, as that is a sign of very lazy malware. The Microsoft Store has a lot of work to do to ensure user safety, and I hope improvements to the store are able to snuff out this bot. It's hard to make a secure official app store that's both friendly to game developers looking for a platform and harsh on games infected with malware. Good steps would be a better screening process for uploaded apps to ensure they're safe, or some kind of verification system if you can't implement a screening system for every app on the store immediately. To Microsoft's credit, they are cracking down on the issue, and many well-known malware-infested games like Runners of the Temple 2 have been removed, but they still have a lot of work to do if they want to match up to the security of their rival, the Apple App Store. My name is Chloe Tonis, and until next time, stay secure.